Hello, boys and girls. This is Grandma Books. I'm reading I'm going to read two really fun books today. These books were put out by Crayola. You know Crayola, they make crayons. You've probably used some Crayola crayons in your life. And these books are designed for boys and girls in kindergarten and TK and first grade and even second grade, and I like them because they're fun. So they're very simple books, but I think you're going to like them because they're very clever. I'm going to read first, This is the Sun, or Is It? And it's put out by Crayola, the crayon people. This is the sun, or is it? And that's a drawing that sort of looks like a sun. I could draw that with my Crayola crayons. Uh-oh, look what they did. They changed it. This is a flower, or is it? Look what they did. They took the sun and they made it into a flower. Looks like a flower. That was very clever. This is a lion, or is it? Look, they made the flower be the mane of the lion and gave him a face. I think that's very clever. I like that. So this is what you can do with your crayons. Oh no, they've turned it into a dandelion. Is this a dandelion? Yes, it is. It is a dandelion, and that's a joke on the word because the dandelion is a wildflower. We don't have a lot of them here in the desert, but when it rains, you can go out in the desert and see them, and they're just these yellow flowers. But dandy means good, so it makes a joke. It says, is this a dandelion? Like, is this a good lion? And then it says, yes, it is a dandelion, the flower. I think that's funny. Okay, now we're going to start all over. This is a pink worm, or is it? Looks like a pink worm, except I don't see any eyes. Do worms have eyes? I think they do. This is a floppy hat, or is it? Look, they turned it into a floppy hat like a girl could wear on her head. So it looks like a floppy hat. If you like SpongeBob, you're going to know this. This is a jellyfish, or is it? SpongeBob. Looks like the jellyfish in SpongeBob, I think. Is this a snail? Yes, it is. Look, they turned the jellyfish into a snail. This is very clever because they made this look like a leaf. I think that's really clever. This is a gray rock. This is a new one. Uh-oh, you're going to be able to figure this one out. You're clever. This is a gray rock, or is it? We know, I bet we all know what they're going to turn this rock into. Think about it. I know you're right. This is a spotted egg, or is it? It's like an Easter egg, like when we dye Easter eggs at Easter time and we put spots on them and stripes and all kinds of stuff. So it's an Easter egg, maybe? No, this is a little bug, or is it? Look, it's a ladybug. Oh, I have to put on my ladybug hat. So we think it's a little ladybug, or is it? No, this is a big bug. How funny, look, the bug is as big as a tree. Ooh, I wouldn't want to have a ladybug that big at my house, would you? That's a little scary. I think this is a really funny book. Now I'm going to read This is the Moon, or is it? Also by Crayola. So this will show you what pictures you can draw. This is the moon, or is it? Looks like the moon, not a full moon, a little moon. Uh-oh, look what they did. They took the moon and turned it into a ball. This is a ball, or is it? Well, that's sort of clever. They have this part being the moon, and then they made it round and made it a ball. Looks like a beach ball to me. Is this a bee? Yes, it is. That's really clever. Look, they put on a head and wings and feet and tail. I like that. That's the way you can draw things. Start with them simple and then make them more complicated. Here's a new one. This is a cap, or is it? Looks like a little beanie cap that I could wear on my head. This is a top, or is it? And do you know what tops are? That's those things you can spin on the floor. You turn them like that and they spin all around on the floor. And boys and girls, this is what an artist does. Because when you've got a picture, you can't show if something's moving or not. So they make these lines that mean that it's turning this way. That's what those lines mean. And then this line means that's the way it's come. So this top has been going like this along the ground, and that shows movement. So it looks like a top. Oh no. I'll bet you can figure out what they turned the top into. Is this a kite? Yes, it is. Now see what they did? They made where the kite had been moving, they made it the string that you hold onto, and they made it a tail, and they gave it little. When I was a little girl, we used to fly kites, and we put little pieces of cloth on the end of it to make it fly better. I guess we thought, up, up, up. Well, here's a new one. This is a bag, or is it? It looks like a paper bag, doesn't it? Looks like a paper bag that's been used because it's sort of wrinkled. This is a tree, or is it? Now look what they did. They took the paper bag and they made it the trunk of a tree, and then they've got green up here for a tree, but look at that green. That might look like something to you. You might guess what it's going to turn into. They're very clever. Is this a frog? Yes, on a log. So now it's a frog on a log, and look, those are his legs and his eyes and his front paws. I think that's very good. Look, they got a mosquito or something flying around. This is a new one. I see a star in the sky, or do I? Well, stars don't really look like that. That's the way we draw a star, but if you look up at the sky at night, they don't look like that. They just look like bright lights. I see a sea star on a rock, or do I? Now, when I was in school, we used to call these starfish because they're shaped like a star. But they're not a fish. You know, they can't swim. They don't have any gills. They don't have eyes. They don't move around. They just sort of stay there on the ground. And so they now call them sea stars because they're not a fish. So do I? Oh, no! I see a rock star in the sea. Isn't this funny? They've got a rock star. Look, he's got a microphone because he's singing. And he's got on glasses because he's a rock star. I don't know why, but rock stars always wear sunglasses. I guess because they're famous and they don't want anybody to recognize them. Oh, I can't wait for you to read the next book I'm going to read. You're going to love it. I hope you get to see it too. Thank you, boys and girls. Goodbye.